the experience with the hospice for me is like, it's something you don't want to deal with until you have to. But I mean, she was ill for a long time. We were married over 20 years, and 10 of those she was diagnosed with cancer. Obviously, we didn't think about the part that involves the hospice until towards the end. But as we started coming to terms with that actual event happening, that's where the hospice kind of stepped in, and services that I didn't know were available and she didn't know were available started kicking in, like the whole care plan, meeting doctors up front, and that it's a huge comfort, for her and myself. It's still very upsetting, but in an awful situation, it sort of makes it bearable. And then physically then coming here, and the experience of that was just incredible. All accommodating so many people, there's just nothing was too much trouble. So I just feel really grateful that this is on our doorstep, especially with 3 quite young children that I've got. They wanted to be involved, and how that was handled is just amazing. I can't think of what the alternative would have been if it had been in hospital with that happening, or at home, so that's really why it's sort of so close to my heart now, I'd say. And then it's just a strange, sort of happy coincidence that I've become really close with Mark through running and being a neighbour and then a friend and everything. And then Mark's connection with the hospice was just, I didn't realise how close Mark was until I got to know him a bit better.
Stars were aligned. Yeah, both my parents died here, 10 years apart in the same room, so it's a really special place to me.
She didn't want to admit that the end was coming, but she knew. The first time the assigned doctor came around from the hospice, in fact, made us feel like she had all day with us. Obviously she did, it very busy, but and there was a big change in Debs after that, like in terms of confronting this, still trying to come to terms with it, but it just helped a lot. I was just saying how nervous I was about actually coming through the doors. So I know you're not going to walk out with the same number of people in your family. It's like a big thing. And she said, maybe if you come up on your own up front, and then you're walking through the door, but you know where you're going and what it smells like and what it looks like. Just walking around the whole place.
The way that you feel, the care, it's just a different. It's time, isn't it? It was a more one-to-one time with you in the hospital.
Absolutely.
You got this period.
Yeah. I didn't expect to be sort of hugging nurses and things. Yeah. It's all like really amazing. You can tell how much they can. I just think, oh God, how do these people do it? And they're all there for you. Just feel like you're wrapped up in something that's just going to help you cope. What an amazing service it actually is. The family room, it's just so well set up. And it's such a nice place to come. You can't sit intensely in the room the whole time. It's like a little breakout. Especially when you've got children or younger adults and stuff. They don't want to be in that intense environment. There's coffee and big cakes and that. You just think, what? It's just shocked, how can it be this nice in here? You don't feel like you're on your own afterwards either, so it doesn't end as soon as you walk out the door. But yeah, that whole kind of holistic approach from way before you need it to like right the way through and afterwards. We didn't really at one point think that Deb was going to make 50. And then she was like not only made 50, but it was June of 23. So, it was less than 6 months to go. But she basically just wanted to do this big thing for her 50th to raise money, like a charity ball. And it was for it was for St Michael's Hospice and Victoria's Promise. So it hasn't come as a surprise to a lot of our friends, or at least my friends, because it was something that she wanted to do anyway.
When Deb's funeral, I don't know how many, the room was standing room only. The emotion, the love in that room was something else. Rob and his little lad got up and did a eulogy, and at the end, I really wanted to clap. But you're kind of at a funeral and that's not the done thing. But then the vicar then got up and said, I don't know about you, but I think that deserves a round of applause. So then the whole place just started to clap. Yeah. It was unbelievable in terms of really emotional, so sad. But the love people had for her which is again why we can't let this go. There's an opportunity here, the stars are aligned, we've got to do something.
So it's going to be a year, that week is like leading up to the year. That's kind of like where Mark started thinking about it. And just through the fact that all of her side of the family are mad on football, my 3 boys all inherited skills from her side of the family, and clearly because it's Liverpool Football Club mad, through the great granddad, you know, and Debs herself, seemed like just a really good idea to end up there, didn't it? Yeah.
And Liverpool have been great, the club's been great. They were interested in what we had to say, which that for me felt special on its own. I'm a Liverpool fan too, and you do feel part of something.
It's not a coincidence. I mean, You'll Never Walk Alone is obviously a very popular song for people's funerals. So all the family from Liverpool, at the end of each of the funerals I've been to, we've had that song played. The fixture that will be on the Saturday when we get there is the same fixture that we went to with my wife. She was still here, like the year before previous. So we've been to the same one. And we've got video of us singing like You'll Never Walk Alone. It's just literally is goosebumps.
What we'd like to do is get people along the way, even to run for a kilometre. So we leave on the Sunday, which is the 8th. The 7th day is the 14th when we get to Liverpool. We want to raise at least 15,000 for you guys to keep the place running. It's 15,000 a day, I think it is, to cover the costs. To go back to what Rob said earlier, I think once you've used this place, been here, seen it, perhaps felt it, you can't help but sort of want to do things. And
it's the sort of thing that she would want to do, you know, that's what it feels like.
Yeah, she's a special lady, special family.
Yeah,
We've got this. You'll never run alone.